quick.
Take another strip, you know.
Hell, taking a tab of acid.
All I'm gonna be here is
Good tabs. Good
yeah,
good tabs.
just
Yeah.
candy.
Fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I've only done acid like twice or some shit. Fucking
I've probably done it about 12 times now.
12. Shit, more than me.
Most I've ever done was 1.5 tabs. That was like a 3-day time warp and just lasted forever.
Yeah.
Right now, man, it's like it doesn't matter though. It's like everybody always has that gimmick of like, yeah, man, I did
I did.
this is why you should listen to me because I've been around the digital block. It's like, nah, it doesn't even fucking matter. Everybody has been doing like whatever. What I quickly realized
All right, so
long
could
ago.
you change your audio real quick? So hold up, I just want to make sure this is right. Fuck. All right, hold up. Talk real quick.
Check, 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 check. Fucking.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Alright, we're on now. Fuck it. So I guess we could start off like, how's your day? It's crazy
That was a
shit.
terrible start. That is the most non-genuine fucking start to anything from. This is a genuine podcast. We're gonna start this with some fucking
With some
fake ass
ungenuine
small talk.
shit. With some fake ass small talk. Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
How's the
Like,
weather out there? Yeah.
how's the
How's
weather?
your kids? I don't give a fuck
How
about
do
your kids.
Fucking next thing you know, fucking your house just gets fucking bombed.
That's your house getting blown up, buddy. You kids aren't. You can't. There's no microtransactions. It just got really dark.
Yeah, man. Fucking. I don't know,
But
man.
what is it like? You're gonna start a thing. You're gonna have a podcast, and that's what the whole thing is that you got to get right over the point of like
Yeah.
go, and then you're going because the Hawthorne effect is what it makes it to where when you're listening to it, is you're like I'm now trying to be
Yeah.
original. I'm now
I'm
trying to be
chilling, bro.
Ben
Like,
on tape.
nah, bro. Cause like, I don't know. I don't think
Well,
originality.
believe me, dude, I've been trying to do this for a long time. It is like people think it's
Yeah.
as easy as just like, well, I
No,
should get paid to talk for a living. It's like, no, man, it is some to talk for a living.
I
To just
actually
go
have
off the
I have
tongue.
recordings of us talking. Believe it or not, like when we just be
Well,
talking.
yeah, but that's like
But
when
we're
you
already
don't
in the
like.
mood of talking. Yeah, we should have. We
Yeah,
should
the
have like
trick
did a.
is you got to make it to where you don't know you're recording. The moment you press like, all right, we're going. Everyone, be entertaining.
Yeah, man.
Be
Everybody.
entertaining. Just don't think about it too much. Just be entertaining.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, all right, so fucking. I guess we could start it off here then. Fucking.
I mean, just start like, yeah, like what are we talking about?
Like, yeah. What do we?
See, that's
What?
fucking difficult.
Shit. All right. So. Oh, I have fucking comments. What the fuck?
And the
Already.
chat is already gonna be like, yo, who are
Oh
these faggots?
shit. No, everybody in the chat knows me basically. I don't really have a big like audience. I have a little audience actually. Like
Well, I'm the anon.
fucking alright, so
Why do video games make gamers act like such spurgs? Like that could be something we could talk about. Like
yeah.
it's a medium that I love, and I am mostly working on that as I get older. But like, there's that iconic clip of like gamers just like going into a full bore rage, like grand mal seizures on the floor, breaking their headset. Just
Oh
something
yeah.
in a game that's
Piss them
designed to
off.
kick your ass. It's designed to beat you.
It's
And
cause
your brain
people
is like, what?
it's cause people don't like
What?
to lose, man. Like like fuck I wouldn't want to lose, you know? Like
I
fuck.
know, but it's like you put yourself here. It's more that I ask myself it is like I'll be on my day off and
Yeah.
die on some stupid shit in Zelda, and you're like, you died because you were being a bitch and you weren't taking it seriously. That's why you're dead. Take that death. Take it.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, why do you care when it's like you face real shit every day, yet it's going to set you off when you're like, this thing that was designed in a game to beat you by guys who know what they're doing when they design the game and they make these enemies and
Yeah,
they
like they really
predict their
care.
AI patterns and their paths and everything is being played out. It's meant to kick your ass. It's meant to hold you up. It's
Yeah,
meant like why in a game do I feel like me personally? I'm like, if I have to restart this, I'm not shit. Like some part of you is
oh
like you had
shit.
to restart it, so you already suck. But it's like, can you imagine if in life you had that? Like you literally got shot in the face for talking some shit to some dude, and then you can restart. No part of you would be like, oh, but dude, you see, I actually died, so I suck at this game. So at restart, it doesn't even matter. I already died. I suck at this game. It's like you'd be like,
Yeah, but it's
I'm
like people
I'm
keep doing.
alive. You wouldn't even care.
Yeah,
But in a
or
game, some part of me is like, I shouldn't have had to use that restart, man. I fucking suck. I'm turning
but
it off. Turning it off. Coming
shit.
back.
And then
I'm not coming back, man.
yeah, man. Fucking
You know, it's like that anger, that rage.
so DMT. Yeah.
So DMT,
Yeah, DMT.
which is like basically all you can really say is like,
Yeah.
so DMT, yeah, it's a thing. You do it.
Yeah, man. Fucking, I don't know. I need to get high for this shit, bro. I don't even got any weed, bro. I'm fucking like,
Podcasts are a motherfucker, dude. It's like this is the medium of like we are trying to have a genuine conversation right now, but we just hit record, so we're trying to capture something. So it's almost
yeah,
like being in the wild. Like, no, I'm not trying to capture no fucking rare horned rhinoceros, man. I'm not. What was that over there? Like you're
yeah,
like looking and like it's like I'm just out here chilling, you know? There it is. Get it. And it's like, but you're trying to capture that elusive conversation.
yeah. I mean, maybe I just need to practice it. Like, it's a mental thing. That's all it really is. Like, you can only do so much, man. You only do so much. Fucking,
I'm just trying to get here, save, get out of here, so I can go run around Warframe or something. But I really don't even want to run around Warframe, man. I am bored out of my fucking mind with Warframe. Not gonna
yeah,
ever
man.
stop playing it, but I'm done playing it for now.
Yeah, man. Fucking, I've been playing, I've been playing The Witcher and shit, you know? Fucking,
I've been
uh,
playing Breath of the Wild, and I'm almost done with Shenmue
Breath of the
2.
Wild. Oh, yeah, I remember, bro. I fucking helped you with that shit. Fucking, I can't believe it was right there in front of you the whole time, and you just didn't know.
Oh, there was plenty more after that with like other things where it's like this is an old game. It's like there's a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
it where you're just like,
Older games are
why did the
different because
developer think
it's a different
that
mindset.
this quick time event would not? There's a quick time event in this game that like you will fucking die every time. Like because it's basically like if you didn't, it's not that you see it and then like Simon says you repeat it.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
that you
you gotta.
repeat it right when you're supposed to kick that dude in the face or you fucking die.
Damn.
And so
Is
if
it
you don't,
always the same thing? Like, cause a lot of games what they'll do is they'll do that kind of shit, but it'll always be like, cause I remember when I was
it's like
younger.
where it'll show you it's like left X and like you're supposed to be like as he's running into the room with the momentum of the fucking character that you're watching, you're supposed to be like the moment he kicks open that fucking door, you're like left X and with the momentum he kicks the guy. But if you fucking see it and you're like, wait, was that left X?
Yeah,
And then you're like trying to think of what to press, it's like and you're fucking dead.
yeah, man, you just fucking
But that's why a
die.
lot of things like QTEs went down with went by the wayside with older forms of games because it was a
Yeah,
thing where it's like you fuck it up and it fucks up like the original God of Wars. They fixed those with a God of War 3. They put it corresponding to where the buttons are on the screen. Like whenever it said hit circle, it would be on the right of the screen, or whenever it said hit square, it'd be on the left of the screen. Whereas like in a lot of old games, it's just like fucking thing out of nowhere, hit the button. And you're just
yeah,
like what? And you're fucking just trying to scramble on the controller, and you just hit a button, and it's like oh you're dead, you suck.
yeah.
But in
So
like these old games, it's like not only are you dead, you got to go back through that entire 13-minute section. So it's pretty much ruined at this point because
yeah,
it's like rewinding a movie. Like you're like, dude, you see how Tom Cruise just barely made it out of there? Well, let's rewind this another
yeah.
12 times. Let's watch this scene another 12 times. And every time we're about to get to the
I
end,
know
I'm
what
gonna fucking pause it and rewind it.
I know what you're talking about, like how you
It's like that
die,
same
like
feeling
right
with
before.
movies.
Like
Yeah,
after
right when you're
you
like,
gotta watch the. Well, there's a if you well I know you're done with GTA and shit, but there's a mission like that people do a glitch on. It's called the Bogdan, and literally, bro, fucking Like I did it so many times to the point where it's like I swear to God I can memorize the lines.
The
It's like
dialogue in that scene.
yeah, it's like cause it's always the same scene, bro, and they make you do it. There's no skipping it, and I'm like, fuck, bro, I
Yeah,
fucking hate the
that's what a lot of
cutscenes.
things are like with Skyrim and how you can't skip at least on console. Like everything is like before we get anybody in the comments or anybody that's obviously because gamers are always like, well, that's not how it is, faggot. That might be how it is for you, but that's not how it is, and you're fucking wrong. It's like I am only a console guy. I'm a fucking console kid. I grew up on consoles. I play console. I know it's better, infinitely better on PC, but I don't give a fuck. I really don't care to play on PC. Could never imagine doing it. But I know it's better. I know there's mods. I know everything is
There's
better.
definitely more
Skyrim
glitches
though,
on
on
PC.
PC, there is no fucking mod to skip the Bleak Falls Burrow and all that when you first start. So it's like another one of those
No,
things where you're like,
there is. There's a
no, I'm saying
mod.
like on the console. Like we're not talking about like
Oh
obviously I know
yeah,
there's a mod. There's a mod for fucking everything, but that's why we're doing this as a caveat to the faggots in the chat that are gonna be like, actually,
yeah, man.
because there's always a faggot in the chat somewhere. I am that faggot a lot of times.
I'm
I'm like,
not.
actually, dude, GTA 5 was you could make everything without buying a shark card. You just suck at the game.
Yeah, fucking that shit happens, man. Fucking then fucking. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like there's a
Did this
way you
guy
gotta
just
play
use
games because
faggots
you was talking
derogatively?
about BioShock, right? And you said that was a good game. I was playing that. It's all right. Yeah.
Games are esoteric. Games are objective. It is why they'll never ever get to the heights and the levels of the mediums of film and
Yeah.
uh, literature and all that other stuff because
I
you
don't
could
know. I
say
feel
like
like they
something like The
are.
Witcher 3. You could tell somebody that The Witcher 3 is a great game. If they're not willing to put 15
Hours
hours,
and
25 hours
shit.
into it,
They're
they're
doing
not going to
stuff.
care.
With the
They're just going to
movies,
be
you can
like,
just watch it.
I don't
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, movies are passive entertainment. All you have to do
Pass it.
to see
Yeah.
some of the greatest things of all time, all you have to do to
Just
experience the
watch.
Maltese Falcon is sit down and watch it. All you have to do to experience Sexy Beast is sit down and watch it. All you have to do to experience Citizen Kane is to sit down and watch it. But to
Yeah.
experience something like the entire series of Bioshock, and yes, it is a masterpiece, but I would never recommend it to people your age because it's from an era before quality of life improvements with shooters like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
where it's from the Quake era of shooters. Kids that fucking are used to being able to
Yeah.
crouch and aim down iron sights and sprint and what shooters became, they won't like Bioshock because it is from the Quake era of shooters when there
Yeah,
were
I
no
could
iron
tell
sights,
because
there was no sprinting, there
when I
was
was
no
playing it,
alternate control other than walking.
I was like, I kind of noticed that because the controls are weird, but I like it. I like the game. It's just the controls are fucking weird, but
But that's what I
I
realized with
played in
video
the
games is
Quake.
like Grand Theft Auto 4 is my favorite Grand Theft Auto of all time. Most people fucking hate Grand Theft Auto 4 because they thought it went too real, too gritty, too fucking boring.
That's why I like it. That's why I like that game. Yeah,
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4 is a masterpiece, man. Like I lived in Liberty City. I still have memories of that place. Like it's a real thing to me. Like Nico
yeah,
Bellic is still existing there today.
yeah.
Probably
Fucking
hailing a cab right now
yeah. I
as the
like
smog
the
lifts up past the girders and the irons and all that.
yeah. Fucking I don't know, man. I'm excited for that one game though, Cyberpunk. That game looks good. I think I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'm gonna probably do a live stream on that too when I get it. I don't
It's
know. We'll
coming in
see when it comes.
September 2020.
September 2020. That's how many months from now? Like 3 months,
7 or 8, I think.
7 or 8. Wait, is September late year or
Yeah, it got
early?
delayed. It was going to come out this April, but it got delayed because they said they wanted to be their crowning achievement for this generation, and then now they just need time to polish it and make sure it works and make sure it's perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Which I
Cause
don't
it,
mind. That game can take as long as it wants to come out.
yeah, no, I honestly I don't even care when a game comes out anymore. Cause after I played Kingdom Hearts, if you've ever played that, well I know you haven't, but for anyone that has, Kingdom Hearts is a good game for its time. Like way back when and shit, it was a good game. And then like it turned the latest Kingdom Hearts fucking sucks ass. Like dog shit, fucking trash. They fucked it up. And I played it, like I finished it and shit, but fucking
I wouldn't know at all why it's trash, but I hear the fans say it's because the bevy of like endless quests and secret items and bosses and stuff that there was to do in the original games. Like
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts 3
there's
is basically just a
nothing to
one and
do.
done.
Yeah, it is a one and done, and that's the thing. Like the part,
And that game was like
there was so much
years in the
shit
making,
you could
right?
do.
Like, dude, I remember hearing about Kingdom Hearts 3 like in fucking 2010.
Yeah, that's the other fuck thing, and now they're trying to fucking sell it off as if like they're adding DLC,
That's
and
the
it's just
thing
trying to
is,
become what the game was supposed to be, and I just don't like when games do that 'cause it's kind of bullshit. Like I don't think it's
well, that is
right.
every game nowadays because little shits like me bought into it back whenever uh,
Yeah.
it was becoming a thing. Like fucking any gamer that's from my time, which is like the Fallout 3s and Borderlands when that first became a thing, like
Navigation has been
Skyrim
updated
and
with new
Saints Row and
locations.
BioShocks and
Chaos
like the
is
games that I
spreading.
would name, they label me as an old man gamer like already. Like that shit is like most
Yeah.
kids don't even have a reference for fucking Fallout 3. They're like, what, for
Fallout
76? Yeah,
3.
man, we'll fucking do squats on 76, bro. It's like, no, I'm talking about Fallout 3 if I'm talking about Fallout.
Fallout 3 was like a very, I don't know. I liked
Fallout
it. I
3
liked it on PC, but I never
is
really.
a staggering masterpiece. I've done everything that there is to do in that game and then some. Like that game
Really?
is
I've
such a
played it a little bit. You know, like I don't know.
truly a work of what a shining example of what games used to be. Like when people are like they don't make them like they used to. It's like yeah, they really don't.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the
Fallout
same for
3
movies
had
too. Like if you watch
Fallout 3 had
movies
a different team of
nowadays,
developers working on
yeah,
each
they
part of its
made
map. They didn't
oh
know what each other were working on. There was
oh that's
different
cool.
teams of developers working on every part of that map. So there was a group of guys that like they have no idea what's going on over in Point Lookout, and these guys have no idea what's going on over in the little
Oh, that's actually
little,
cool. I didn't even know that.
little lamplight in the caverns where you find the group of kids that were like the descendants of children that had been lost there like ages ago on a field trip. That when the bombs fell, they were pretty much like, well, I guess this is our home, guys.
Yeah.
And they were like, they don't like mungos, and they'll tell you to fuck off. And like, those kids didn't fuck around, dude. They would fucking kill you.
No, that's crazy.
You can even meet that kid. That kid is one of the people in Fallout 4. He's the.
The only thing about Fallout games for me is that those games are too fucking like I don't know, man. It's hard because I keep getting radiated and I never can find radiation packs, so I just fucking die a lot. And I'm just like fuck. Like I can't even
You just gotta
stay.
stay away from the radiation. You gotta listen to the Geiger counter. You gotta do
Yeah.
bounties and quests. Get yourself some stim packs. Ingratiate yourself with the local constabulary. You can start earning bottle caps and stim packs and rewards and
Yeah.
accolades. It's all about
Can't you like blow up a whole
manipulating the
town in
system.
that game or some shit? Like you have
Yeah,
the choice.
yeah, you
to-
can nuke Megaton. That was one of the most like top 10 moments of like my young youth, like of growing up gaming on the 360 and all that, when gaming was like hitting new heights, and it was like you could save this town, you could deactivate the bomb in the center of it that they worship as their god and deity, and you could give light to that faith and that ambiguous pantheon, or you could blow these people to kingdom come. And I chose that because as a kid I'm like, dude, I can kill everybody here. Yeah.
do it.
Oh yeah. And as a kid, I didn't even think of that was the coolest thing about Fallout, is that it truly made you come face to face with the consequences of like you can nuke
That's why I like. That's why I like The
Megaton.
Witcher.
you can nuke everybody in Megaton, and then you can come back to the smoking slag heap that it is, and there will still be the shopkeeper Moira Brown, and she's just a ghoul now, and she's like a very prevalent character in multi campaigns whenever you see her as a human. And like when I, as a kid, as a boy, when I was playing those games, just going around like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm nuking towns and fucking shit up. Like I'll take your fucking water. It's all you have left, and I'm gonna stick a grenade in your pants. And then, oh look, it just blew up, faggot. And like it was just like killing everybody, just looting everybody, just because you could. And then that game was truly like the first time in a game where I genuinely felt like, Jesus, I'm a sick fuck. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like when I went back to Megaton and you see the shopkeeper and she's still just as chipper and sunny disposition as ever, and Moira Brown, and she's walking up to you and she's just a ghoul now. She's just a deformed, just oozing flesh bag of wounds and cysts and scars and scabs and just like
I'm a fucking asshole.
all the inherent dangers of jingoism and the 1950s like the themes and the context in which the Fallout draws from of like, I gotta take those Reds out, and boys at sea are fighting him. Another update for and then like the bombs drop and like the whole retro Flash Gordon future with like, it's all lost now with what they do. Just the mere fact that you can drop bombs anytime you fucking want to in Fallout 76, that's like you are taking the very mythology of Fallout and just killing it.
Wait,
because
Megaton is
bombs
the
in that
first
universe
city, right?
are gods. You're not even supposed to see them anymore. They're like fucking deities. They're like something from the... They are like a higher pantheon. And for you just to be able to use them as like a kill streak in Fallout 76, man, it pisses me off. And I'm not gonna be like one of these like, your parents should have fucked when mine did. You're a little kid, and fuck everything you ever had, Morty. It's all a fucking lie. It's like, no, fuck that. I'm not gonna be that asshole.
I was watching Rick and Morty, and I was just high as shit. I was fucking high as shit. Fucking just watching Rick and
Look
Morty.
at that! It defies all logic. That thing.
Yeah, like
Jesus, Rick.
I think I was watching the one. I don't know what episode I was watching. It was something like it was something in the new. It was one of the newer ones for sure. I know that. It was definitely one of the newer ones, but fucking
But it's
oh no.
it's like what we were going back to, what we were saying about like different games and different, like there's people that will just like, you could have a series of games. That's what I learned growing up, is that games are objective. I don't go to people anymore and tell them like, this is a masterpiece, this is one of the greatest games of all time. If they're going to play it, I just give it to them and then they can play it and see for themselves. And a lot of times, some of the greatest games of all time, they are such esoteric like epics that some people just aren't ever going to bother to fucking put the time in.
Yeah, like,
and that's why games will never reach the heights of literature and movies and
that's true.
even audio plays and things where it's like, it's just the passive entertainment of, you just have to sit there, because there is a magic to being swept up in the universe of a game. When you finally have that moment where everything just snaps and clicks, and it's just like, this is what people are talking about. Like, dude, when I had that moment with Final Fantasy 15 and I was like swept up in the adventure of the bond between those guys and like seeing what, it's almost like when you see the cliff notes of what a game does for people, why people take that brand of that kind of crack of that kind of game, you know what I mean? Like why people smoke cigarettes, why people drink coffee, why people eat burgers, why people like to do things for the desired effect. People like to play games for the desired effect. And when you realize what that desired effect is and you yourself are swept up in it, you're like, this is fucking... Like, words can't even describe it.
Yeah, like... I don't know, like...
When you realize what everybody else was, like, telling you, like, why they were telling you, like, no, dude, you need to play this game. You need to play this game. Like...
Yeah, like...
And you finally feel it when you're, like, 20 hours in and it finally clicks and you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah, so...
Nothing does that beyond games. Like, not movies, not books,
I don't
nothing.
know, no game really, like, I think The Witcher was the only game that really hit me like that, though. Like, or, like, made me feel like that, like... Because when I was playing the game, like, I think it was one mission, I was like... Maybe it was because I was high, I don't know. Like, maybe I just need to play games high or some shit, but... Like, when I was playing it, like, there was one mission where it was, like... You're like going to go teach this one person like a lesson or some shit, like a sword lesson, and you end up like having to kill some fucking peasants because they were trying to attack her and she was royalty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good and then like fucking they're all complaining at you and shit about like fucking. They're like, she's like, I didn't care for these peasants, and he's like, I don't know, he says some crazy shit. Fucking, he's like, well, you're a fucking peasant or some shit. He's like your actions, like what you've done, has caused these people to die, and it's like you need to think about that and shit.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like when you have that moment in a game where you realize that like, this guy is thinking about stuff. He's not just a badass with a sword.
Yeah, he's not just
a static dude
that just kills things. Like,
because I'll be honest, man, I skipped over The Witcher every time I saw it on shelves, and I'm like, that looks like a faggoty game with like a dude with white hair. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
When you
thought
don't
that
know
shit
it, you
too.
look at it. Yeah, you look at Geralt and you're like, man, fuck that shit. I don't want to fucking play. Fuck that faggot. Like
Yeah,
that's what your brain is thinking. Like you're like, get that out of my face.
I mean, shit, with
It's
all
almost
the
like you're
shit they're
offended that
trying,
people would like think that they
but
would know you, and that's why when it starts to come around and it starts to be like, this is why people love The Witcher. This is why people think Geralt is one of the best characters of any RPG ever. Like you're like, yeah, man. He is such a human character. He's so cool and he's so like,
yeah,
I hate portals. Like he fucking hates
yeah,
portals. Like
bro, that
it's
shit was,
very human. Like it's very like it's almost like when you're like, oh god, I hate heights. Like it's like he does not like that shit.
yeah, like I like that man. Like he had a sense of, I don't know, cause I was playing cause I feel like a lot of games,
He has
like,
a sense of vulnerability. It's a very mature game. It's a very like it's the first ever
yeah,
game that made me really stop and think like, why would I go off and run over there and try to fight that gang of wolves? This isn't Zelda. He's not going to get paid for that. He's probably going to fucking die or incur some seriously money costing injuries. Like it starts to make you think about it like Geralt is like, I'm just gonna keep on my way to the next town and see if there's a werewolf that needs to be
yeah,
slayed or something for the
the
right
whole
price because
game
those things are
too.
fucking deadly.
Yeah, it's crazy too, cause it's like fucking when I was playing the game and shit, fucking like I think it was one mission and it was like he was explaining like the like Witcher, like it was like explaining what Witcher does, and it's like it didn't really make sense. But then later in the game, like I think way later, I come back to the village and everybody are like the Garld or the Gar, I don't know what the fuck they called him, but like the mission where you help him get his wife back.
Yeah,
Yeah, so when I did it, fucking
that guy was one of the characters I felt for the most. Like,
yeah, like he got fucking cucked. I mean, shit, bro.
and
Like,
he's just a man that's like he's grappling with his vices. Like he's a terrible alcoholic. He's abusive to his family. Like, but they didn't make it like in any other SJW like type of lefty produced game from a lot of these spheres. It would have just been like
he wa-
demonizing him as like, look at how evil this man is. This white patriarchal male. No, it was like he's a man that is fucking fallen. Like he's fucked up. Like he's
yeah,
transgressed. He's like
I
he
don't
is.
know. I feel like a lot of game, well, going like social
It's
justice
real. It's
warrior
mature.
or whatever the
Oh
fuck.
yeah, man. The majority of games nowadays, you can't point me to a game. Red Dead Redemption 2 has SJW fucking
Yeah,
nonsense
bro,
in
you
it, where
can't
like
even.
you can't tell me that Arthur would have been like ignorant of like, no, people are mean to you, feller. Holy, just because the color of your skin. What in tarnation? Like, dude,
Yeah,
that's
or
that's not believable at all.
when fucking what I was talking about a few days
They
ago.
paint him as a cuck, as their cipher, as a character that would not exist in a world like that, and then you're like, wait a minute, wait a second, and you think that like somebody, like what they did with Mass Effect Andromeda, every character that was not gay, trans, or somewhere along that spectrum was just basically a nobody, was just basically not part of the crew, was like,
I
if
mean,
you're just a
Rockstar's lost
fucking
its balls though because fucking they made it so
oh
you
yeah,
can't
dude, that was the
kill
end. That was the swan song for Red Dead Redemption 2 was the swan song.
Yeah, yeah, and fucking the worst part about it too is that like even though it was over as soon as they made it
If
so
you
you
could
can't
fucking
kill a
do
character just 'cause fucking she's a female rights activist. That's when the game was
yeah,
over.
that's literally like or like it's cliche. Everybody
In a
anything that
Rockstar
always
game where you can do
anything
anything.
that always like peters on the edge of like, oh, this is censorship. This is them telling you what you can do. This is like
Yeah.
Orwellian. That word always comes out. It's cliched, but like, yeah, that pretty much is, man.
Like a
Because
lot
like
of
in a
people
game
probably
where
look
the
at it
agency is yours,
like,
you can
alright,
take
look, if it was any other
anything and
game,
do
I'd
it.
give it a pass,
A
but it's a
ton.
Rockstar game, and it's like in the title that goes in the same title of GTA. Like, literally, what they're doing in Red
Games that got
Dead,
their reputation from like, yeah, dude, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
yeah, like literally in all other GTA games, it was fucking you could do whatever you want, and that's what was the appeal. That's what made GTA GTA. And then there was also the people that love the story. The thing about Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and like things like that is that like so in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 there was a thing for everyone. People wanted trick shotting, there was trick shotting, and then with the new Call of Duty that came out, fucking it's fucking ass because it's literally only favors the campers and fucking like no one really likes that. So it's like because they want it to be more but the real thing, the games that shine out are the games where the players kind of have more say and can do what they want, but still, if the players
I
like
mean,
the
that is
base
also kind of
game,
the sad state of the industry today is that they really are now more relying on you and your
yeah, like
friends to make the game rather than them creating something that's like I said, they don't make
yeah,
games like Fallout 3 anymore. They don't make games like Fable 2 anymore.
yeah,
They don't
like I
make games
don't,
like Prey anymore.
I definitely think, I think there's a fine line though, because I think like the player should, like the player base is the game, you know, like the player base, but there's some games like story, mainly story games, I should say, where, but no one wants to play a story game anymore because why the fuck would they want to just waste their time on one game? They don't have money, they don't have, oh, because the main audience is kids. It's all
Yeah, it's
fucking
a bunch of
kids.
little Zoomers that have, and it's like nothing against
It's it.
any
Uh,
of them, but it's like a different time. It's like they probably got a PS4 or an Xbox One, and all they know is games as a service or free to play
yeah.
games that are like you could get on there, you could do as much as you want, you can get as much free gameplay
And you
as
gotta pay
possible, even
for
though they're
it.
not really truly grasping that a lot of these things are just 15-minute loops of like, yo, go shoot your friend, go over there, get the
Yeah,
goal,
yeah.
come
I think
back, this
that's
is
my
laser tag,
problem with a
last
lot of
man
games
standing
is
laser
because
tag.
cause like I feel like with a lot of shooters, like I mean, there's a few I like, but that's just cause when I'm bored as fuck and I just want to play something, like I just want to fucking do something because the thing about some games is
You
that there's
just
like
want some
prep
like
work.
stimulus.
Yeah, just like a
Yeah.
stimulant, but like the thing about a lot of shooter games is that they get very repetitive. Like
Oh yeah, man. Everything, every game, like no matter what, and believe me, I play it. I can tell you like better than anybody. Every game gets repetitive, no matter how like gloriously varied the 15-minute loop is, because every game is built around the 15-minute loop, and that's like
yeah.
the number of activities that you as the player can do in a
That's
15-minute
why I love
span of
like
time.
immersion games because it's like you can do so like you can live, and that's like interesting to me, like living as a character that isn't yourself because I don't know, maybe it's just like my self-hatred for myself, but fucking like look like you can eat because like you get to also do two things. You get to play as this badass like. Let's say you're in a fucking shooter, like you get to play as a badass with a gun, but is there any depth depth is that the right word? Fuck. Oh.
Depth.
Yeah, depth. Fucking like there's no depth to the character. Like I don't know. It's like I
Well, I
don't know.
mean,
I
it
like
depends on which kind of shooters you're talking about. If we're
yeah.
talking about most of the shooters from like after Modern Warfare and onward, yeah, the character depth started to go way out the window and up
Yeah.
went
And
the
it's
ante with
even
like
that
the
for
big explosions
RPGs
in the
like
part where you're the only guy that gets knocked out and it's in slow motion and they're like, get the jam off,
cuz I like
and like
the
everything is slow.
like I used to like the games where it's like you get to create your own character, but the thing is that there feels like there's no character to the character. Like in Skyrim, like you get to make your own character, right?
Yeah, that's the
It
thing is that
doesn't
you sacrifice them actually creating a rounded create like when you're playing something like The Witcher, you truly realize what people are losing whenever every game has to be like, no, I want to make my guy, I want to customize my character. It's like, wouldn't you rather them give you a character that is already existed because The Witcher is based on
yeah, because
Russian
it's like
prose and it's like very
it's
fabled
cool as
and
fuck though because it's like it feels like he exists. Like it doesn't feel like
yeah,
your
he's
character is just some
existed
badass.
long before you picked up the game, and it was like, boom, saga of badass guy, saga, this, yeah, and it's like, no, Geralt was here doing shit long before you ever came into his story.
Yeah. Like I mean,
I mean, he's covered in scars, just swaths of stories that like you're like, man.
yeah.
Most people they only got into The Witcher on the third game, like.
Yeah.
Besides the diehards, the real diehards, they're like, I was there from the beginning. I was there when it looked
Like
like
shit.
worse than Oblivion.
But I mean, like I don't know, every game once looked bad. Like if you look at any game from the past,
I mean,
like
for me, no game ever looks bad anymore because I think of games in the sense of like again, I do a lot of psychedelics and things, so I think of games as games are no different. When a game immerses you, when a game does things that only a game can do, it is a psychedelic medium, and I will be the first to try to coin that because I do. Maybe just because I played so many video games with psychedelics, man.
Speaking about
And I'm on
psychedelics, how's your trip going right now, man?
Playing Octodad right now, man. I'm trying to get into the kitchen to get trying to open this fridge.
That's an old ass game. Holy shit, I haven't heard of that game in forever.
I don't need to read, lady. You are getting up on the. I'm gonna fucking repeal the 19th on my wife. What?
Yeah, I mean, Octodad's nice. I mean, oh no, I saw that game when I was
is a comedy
little.
game. It is a hilarious game, but again, it's like there was a lot of people you couldn't recommend this game to. Like, I wouldn't recommend this game to people that just play 2K and Grand Theft Auto Online. No fucking way would I recommend them Octodad. They would not see the brilliance in it.
Yeah.
It is an irreverent game. It is an avant-garde game. It's an indie game.
Yeah, indie games are...
I quickly grew tired of mainstream.
AAA.
Probably I could pinpoint it. 2014. Destiny was like the beginning of each nail in the coffin, and then whenever the PS4 and the advent of like, now you can play games that have always been available on the PC that you were never going to get on the PS3 and 360.
It was like
when I got access to things like Surgeon Simulator and Gone Home and fucking Octodad and was it like
people that try different things, they test the waters. You mean like
things that are like when I started to stray away from the mainstream, I'm like, games can be so much more than just a grizzled white dude with a dead family and a shadowy past.
Yeah, or just some guy that's a badass that you know nothing about, or maybe you know something about. Yeah.
Or the game can be so much more than like, press X to not die, you fucking simpleton. It's like indie games are so where they introduce you to the world, they give you the mechanics, and then they just are pretty much like, now get the fuck out of my face.
I feel like like the whole thing about like corporations and shit, like alright, so I don't know, maybe this is just like me that thinks this shit, but fucking like, so if you're like a corporation, right? Because, like, alright, so a lot of games talk about, like, defeating a bad and evil corporation, right? But, like, most games that do that are evil corporations.
Are made and published by evil corporations.
Yeah, like, the part about that I don't understand the most, like I'm gonna say a particular one. Have you ever played Advanced Warfare?
Yeah.
Like, why would Activision... An evil Activision's evil as fuck with the fucking deals they be fucking Activision's fucked. But the thing I don't understand is why. Alright, so if I was Activision, why would I want to give people the idea of fucking taking over or taking down an evil corporation, you know? Why would
because it's a release valve. It's like it's a way for you to exercise your tendencies of like, we want to tear the rich apart and we want to destroy them, but they're like, well, you can do it in your little virtual play boxes and we're going to have none of that violence in the actual streets.
Yeah, and
that's how they do it. They keep you pacified.
Like I feel like it's
porn
such
is
a
free.
power.
It's why everything is so widely, I mean, dude, when I was a kid, you'd be lucky if you found a naked chick on a motorcycle, a torn up piece of paper in the woods, like, if you found any of that type of shit from a magazine in the woods, you were like a lucky motherfucker, because porn, all it was like the main site, and then you went there and it was like Girls Gone Wild for $9.99 for 9 easy payments of your parents' credit, or the fucking credit card that you don't have because you're not even supposed to be on this site. And it was like that's all it was, dude. Kids have no idea how fucked they are nowadays, where it's like cam sites, cam girls, Chatterbait, fucking Instagram, these Delphine bitches, the Pornhub, dude, when I was younger, like all porn used to be was the main page, and you didn't even get to see anything. Everything had stars over it. Like, it was just a page of chicks and stars, and it was like, you need a credit card, you little shit, and we know you don't have one because you shouldn't even fucking be here. Just because you lied to get in doesn't mean you have that. And that's how they'd always stop you. And then I remember as I was getting older, everything started to become more and more available, more and more open source. Like, I still remember a time on the cusp of my childhood before the internet. Like kids nowadays, they will not ever know a time
Yeah,
before the
if
internet.
you were a kid
That's
now,
why again, I think it
like
goes
I'm
back to a
sure.
lot of like, do you think you like to play as these characters, these
I don't
badass
know.
characters, these worlds that like you escape? Because it is a form of escapism, and it is a form of like, it's one of the only masculine spaces left nowadays where men can just get the objective. The objective is up to you and you alone to solve. You have to go out, source the resources, kill the guys, get the girl, save the day. It's like it's all the masculine fantasies of like what they want to do away with, especially in reality.
Yeah, because if people aren't gonna fight back, then they can just take all your shit with guns.
Oh, they're
And-
gonna take all of our shit eventually because nothing is ever gonna be done. I mean, not to be on a black pill note, but it's like they just do whatever they want, man, and we just stay. The world is far too comfortable for anybody. I mean, I'm not ever gonna fucking
Like if an alien
run out
comes
and be the
to
lone
take us
martyr
over-
that's just like, they're just gonna shoot you. You're gonna be a fucking terrorist. No one is gonna be the martyr. No one is gonna be.
yeah,
What is it?
fucking
Trying to make coffee. Got the beans. I got the beans.
because it's like you get censored for everything. Like
Just dump it in there, you know? This is my morning routine. Don't chat at me, woman. I ain't had the caffeine yet. You married a squid. You're a sick fuck.
damn.
They even point that out in this game. Like, at one point, your kid even makes a result of, like, or somebody makes a joke of, like, how do they have kids? It's like, yeah, because indie games are fucked.
Nah, I mean, I think AAA is fucked too. I mean, a lot of people. I don't
No, I'm
know.
saying, like, a lot of indie games deal with a lot more things where, like, AAA would never touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
A game about an anthropomorphized squid man who moonlights as a fucking aquatic cephalopod that is trying to pass off as an all-American dad while his chef neighbor wants to cook him up and eat him, which wouldn't be murder because he's a squid. It shouldn't even be up here anyway. It's like, what the fuck is going on in this game? If you read into it a lot, you're kind of like, this is
Like what's
disturbing.
going on with the
But
story?
in your game, dude, you can read into a lot of games, and you're like, this is so fucking wrong.
Yeah, it's like.
There's so many games
what's
where you can look at it and be like,
beyond
what's really
eye.
going on? Yeah, like where people don't think about what they're really like. Max Payne was another game. Like again, we were talking about. We seem to be on the. At least I was saying earlier how Fallout being one of the first games that made me truly like, you can blow up a city, and then like, why'd you do that? You sick fuck. Like, just because we let you, why did you kill those people? It was almost like the first game that was
It's like
like,
what in your mind?
just because you had the agency to do whatever you want, why would you? Like,
Yeah.
I love that when a game truly tries to question your
Your morals.
principalities,
your morals.
tries to look you in the square in the face and be like, "What is wrong with you, you sick little fuck?"
Yeah, like. Cause,
And you're holding the
'cause a lot
controller,
of
and your
people-
and your parents aren't home, and you're just like, well, "Oh my god, they're talking to me." I'm sorry. Like, and you just feel like, I don't know. You told me I could blow up the city. I never got to blow up a city before. It looks so
I
cool.
just wanted to see a book.
Now these people are fucking puking up their organs. I don't know what I've done. Forgive me. Yeah, and you genuinely feel the gravity of your actions. Only video games will take you to the, like, a novel, a murder mystery, a movie, any type of these mediums will take you all the way up to the line of, like, a man's choices, a man's consequences, the indifference of time, the march of conquest and technological advancement. Like, but games will take you over that line right after you pulled the trigger, right after you decided that the aliens should be the ones to take over and
Yeah.
seed the human race as the next. And then you're sitting there like, oh my god, what have I done?
Yeah. When
And that's the difference between Japanese games and Western games, is that they
Yeah.
will get you. They will. Japanese games
they
will be like,
show you.
you're a sick fuck. Your descendants are going to be butthole creatures because you're a butthole creature, and you shouldn't have smacked that old lady with your sword because you thought you were hot shit. You evil,
Yeah.
impotent little. And then like American games, they'd be like, no, it's cool, man. You can reload the save. Don't even worry about it, brother. It's
Yeah,
cool,
you can,
buddy.
You can just go kill
We're just playing here,
everybody.
man. We're just playing.
We're just
We're just
killing.
playing,
We're
brother.
just mass fucking.
We're just killing people,
Mass
brother. We're just
murder.
fucking killing. You see what I mean? It says a lot about our cultures. It is very much like Japan is like, no, we got a bomb dropped on 2 of our generations, and they're never coming back, and you're not reloading the save, so move on and don't even talk about it. Shut the fuck up.
Probably, probably.
But America is like, man, we'll come in and kick ass, and if we lose, we're just gonna reset the game on you bitches. What?
Yeah.
America!
Yeah, and then it's like...
I got all the fucking tokens! Your parents don't even have a credit card. Your parents probably aren't even employed.
Yeah.
They're like that kid online. It's like, bitches, I'm printing platinum right now. As you're wondering how to get to mastery rank 30, I'm already there. You fucking suck.
Yeah,
I
man.
own this game. I own you. I'm getting naked pics from your girlfriend right now. I don't even know your girlfriend, but I am. Fag. There's always a guy like that. There's always, like, video games teach you more than anything. It's like, it's all just a game, man. This is all just one big game. Trump, the coronavirus, the world, the indifference of man, whether or not we're going to kill each other in another civil war, whether or not the left and the right is going to wage on forever until the end of who knows what time frame or civilization or whatever new rhetoric, ism, tis, fucking theory, demagogue that we build, whatever fucking world we build up around it, and then you're the guy, just like you're the guy inside every one of these games that's running through and is like, what was this place? And all you can find is little snippets and bits and pieces of the past and things that echo through a piece of Chintamani architecture that Drake picks up off the floor and tells remarks to Sully about, or a notebook that Link happens to read in the ruins of Hyrule Castle ages after everyone's gone,
or the audio tapes,
a data entry
files
on the audio tapes in BioShock after that are littering the remnants of Rapture as it collapses into the sea and it takes it back, and no one even remembers these things.
Or the files in the asylum on Outlast.
Or the fucking all the Riddler's trophies that idiot left all over Arkham, and Batman is literally in reality would be like, I'm not doing that, Alfred. Like he would have just been like, is he out of his mind? Get me the Joker's location now. I don't know what the fuck Edward is on about.
I don't know.
Alfred, this is fucked. Yeah, it's like Alfred. He locked himself underground. I don't. Yeah, I'm coming home. Fuck this. That's what the fucking end of Arkham Knight should have been. It should have just been like, fuck you, dude, suffocate, I'm out of here. But no, I went after those trophies. I went after that ending.
And it was probably.
I was just padded, man. My coffee is gonna burn down the house. I've been making coffee for 3 minutes. Time to push the button. How do I?
You're making coffee.
Dear, the coffee machine. Woman the. Damn it.
Fucking
It's gonna burn down the house. I'm saving the kids. Children! Run! Your mother has burned down the house. Women are awful.
Oh my.
I gotta get this coffee out of this thing. And then it's like, Will. I'm so fucking. Will Octodad ever get the coffee out of the coffee maker? Tune in next time for more spine singling tales of suburban
on your favorite
solitude.
soap opera. On your favorite soap opera.
Octo.
You I take
He's just
it.
pushing a button. I don't get it. The show is like 6 seasons. This guy pushing a fucking button.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you ever you've watched a few soap operas, right?
Yeah, man. Soap operas. You don't even have to watch a few other than to watch one for an episode, and then you're caught up on everything that's happened up to that point.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like those TV the novellas, or those daytime soap operas, and they all have that look to them. They all have that look of like when you would get an HD TV early on in the advent of that technology coming into like audio and video and gaming and movies and all that. It would just look like if you were watching my brother. He had a 75-inch. He still does. He had a 75-inch HD television, and this was before the works of like all the stuff we have now. That's like the HDR and the picture and the crispness
4K.
and like the no pixels anymore, and like so it literally just looks like when you're watching Fast and the Furious. It just looks like somebody's filming Vin Diesel and his friends in a fucking parking lot, and you're like, we're here at the Daytona 500 Speedway talking to Vin Diesel about the new movie Fast and Furious. Tell me about it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like it doesn't look like a movie anymore. It takes away all cinematography. Those things look like soap operas. So it's like soap operas all look like that. They have that
no, I think
inherent
I think everything.
feel to them.
I feel like everything's a soap opera now, cause like you said, if I what's the movie called? Fucking Fast and the Furious. Did you say?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fucking like that's like a soap opera, but for like a movie, you know? Like it's
Oh,
just
Fast and Furious is just a big dude soap opera. Just like women have their porn in romance novels and movies, like with Ryan Gosling, and where he's living on a ranch and he's telling some girl like, "I'm always gonna love you." You know that. You know that.
yeah,
And like it's like raining, and like it's like from the producers of The Wedding Cake and The Notebook, and like these bitches are gonna take you to it, and you're just gonna be like, "Oh my god, I just want to play Zelda," and you're just fucking bored out of your fucking mind, and they're like, "I wish Ryan Gosling was fucking me and not this soy boy."
yeah, that's true.
And then yeah, it's like all that shit. It's like every one of those where women
Like,
have their porn, men have their porn with Fast and Furious. It's like, man, we got these TNA hot women in bikinis, globe trotting around, huge
everybody
epic
wants what they can't
shots of
have.
the latest supercar, Lugatti, Guati, fucking my Lugi, fucking whatever the fuck you're gonna buy and you can't afford, and you're gonna walk out of the theater like, man, if I was just driving that car that Jane Biggs was driving, I would have such a bigger dick and my life would make sense. Even though it wouldn't, and you'd still hate yourself, and you probably still hate the bitch you're fucking, and she'd probably still hate you,
Yeah,
because you all lie to yourselves. And everything is, we get back to the escapism of like, all we're gonna have at a certain point is the best video games that you could ever imagine, the best movies you could ever imagine, the best entertainment that you could fucking imagine. Richie Rich ain't got shit on us. Fucking go down the block, Richie, your old hat. But we have nothing that matters. That's the kicker.
yeah,
We don't have community. We don't have family. We don't have necessarily a future. We don't have posterity. We don't have homogeneity. We don't have
longevity.
cultural integrity. We don't have a history. You don't have pride in like, yes, my grandfather's grandfather actually put the stones down on this street that we're walking on right now with our kids. But it's
You
like,
don't feel
no, that
sense
didn't
of
happen because he was a racist and his statue was abolished and knocked down because fuck them.
because you can feel history. Like I don't know, like if you go somewhere where like a shit ton of people have died or like shit happened that's genuine, like you can feel the genuine likeness of it, like. Cause like there's this one there's this one Minecraft server, it's called 2B2T, and it's like if you like go on like servers like that, usually it feels like people trying to fake like that kind of world, but like when you go in there, if everything feels genuine, it feels like people are griefing to be fucking griefers and shit, like as I mean. It feels like shit's happened, like shit blew up, shit got destroyed, shit got fucking nuked. Like,
I just noticed this game in the first few sections is already like it's pegging fun at like, look at the fucked up world that we've created here. You're playing as an octopus dad, and because the gameplay is fun and hilarious of you trying to do everyday suburbanite things and you're fucking it up, and that's where the physical comedy comes into play. You don't think about how fucked, like the little girl, I brought her a glass of milk and she just walked into the kitchen like, thanks dad, soon my bones will be strong as steel. And it's like them thumbing their nose at the blatant propaganda that my generation was fed of like, drink got milk and like milk gives you strong bones, like straight up propaganda. Like it does not give you strong bones, it doesn't do shit. That's like these heady lefty developers, like these indie developers are like, yeah man, we're just gonna make it like this fucked up American family, but we're gonna constantly poke fun at like, isn't this all such a fucking disturbing thing? Give me that coffee, bitch, I'm a man.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like
I'm out the door.
wait, so
I'm gonna go endanger children.
wait, so what do you mean milk doesn't give you strong bones? I thought that was like,
No, that's propaganda. Milk doesn't do anything of the sort.
hold up,
You look into it.
I'm gonna look into that, cause that's a good.
All that
good-
stuff is literally propaganda. Got milk, milk gives you
Does
strong bones,
milk
fucking...
give you strong bones. So
It's just propaganda from the, like, big milk, big... And that's probably not even a thing. Big milk. Big milk.
alright, so it says If you drink milk to keep your bones strong, there's a good logic in it. Milk and dairy products are concentrated calcium sources, and we know calcium
Ugh.
fortifies bones and prevents.
Fucking
I don't know how to pronounce that. Fuck.
fuck the
However,
pronunciations, man.
it says osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis.
Fortifies bones and prevents osteoporosis. However, a recent study suggests that some milk
Son, don't feed
may
the
be
hamsters.
good, may be good, more is not better. Hold up, let me look. So this is in the medical clinic of Cleveland, I guess, some shit like that. Fucking. However, let's see. Let me look for where it says. The authors note
Child
galactose
abuse. I'm smacking my son
in
in
milk
the head with a glass. Just put a
has been
steak on it,
shown
son.
to induce oxidative stress, damage, and chronic inflammation in animals, and such
Damn the
challenges have
milk.
been associated as cardiovascular disease, cancer, bone loss, the muscle
Yes,
loss in
see, it's not
humans.
what they say it is. And
They
you know
also
that?
caution their finding merit independent
Damn the
replication
milk. Damn the
before
dairy.
used in dietary
If you don't love me
recommendations.
now, you will never break the chain.
The
That's like the
role of
song
vitamin
of
D. Huh.
Fleetwood Mac. Nobody even knows
Dietary
who the
sources
fuck
of calcium. While milk contains
throwing apples over the
300
back fence.
milligrams of calcium
Kids,
slash
who wants to play catch with
uh,
dad? I'm gonna beam you in the eye with an apple.
dietary sources
Your
included
mother married
cheese, yogurt,
an octopus.
greens,
She's not
collard,
very bright.
kale, soybeans,
Going in the house to get more
with
fruits to throw at you
bones
people.
and many fortified foods. If you drink milk for strong bones, I recommend no more than 1 glass a day. Do this in addition to mixed diet-rich calcium. So I guess it says that it does. Hold on, I'm gonna look and see if there's another. Uh,
Is the cup?
Milk for your bones.
Can I not?
WebMD. Alright, let's look here. Growing up, milk was a non-negotiable in our house, like a team of star outfits, a diary, yada yada yada. So when I,
Yeah, it was like you fucking drinking milk.
yeah, okay, hold up. Um, um, the bones of
You
his
got real fake
bones.
doors here.
Like most women, my
Like when I'm
mother
pulling off
got
these
her
doorknobs and off
information
my
from
dad's
doctors and health organizations who, for years, have touted milk as the key to healthy bones. But is dairy really the best source of calcium? The question stirs emotions on both sides of the debate. Dairy supporters revere milk as a perfect vehicle to transport calcium to bones. The opposed argument, among other things, proteins and dairy products actually rob calcium from the bone stores, making plant-based food sources and exercise a better choice for healthy bones. So what I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
doesn't give you
saying,
strong bones.
so what I'm think, so I think it helps your bones, but I don't think it makes your bones stronger. Which would make sense because you're only getting 300 milligrams of cal. It makes sense. Milk does it really do a body good? It turns out
This milk
that
facts
the
sidebar
relationship
has
between
been
the
brought to you
protein.
by the Genuine Podcast.
Oh, no, I'm just like curious because like I don't know. I want
For all of you out there who give a fuck about milk.
to. This is for all you milk people, I guess. Fuck.
Man, I just drink the shit.
I mean, I don't. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it helps at all. But you know, like from what I've read. But you know, do your own research on it.
Yes, sir. Listen,
Okay.
magazine.
Um. Yeah. No, I could definitely see like some fucking propaganda shit with that. I could see propaganda and everything though. Like, cause I could see why milk could be used to fucking get people to drink. What's that one milk that has a bunch of estrogen in it?
Soy milk.
Yeah, soy milk, because I know a lot of
And that's why they call them
people.
soy boys.
I know a lot of people talk about soy milk, and I actually that's what I drank, what I had to drink when I was little because I was allergic to dairy. So for everyone that's allergic to dairy and drinks any type and likes milk, they drink soy milk, which has estrogen in it, which that basically estrogen is the it's what is in the female genetic code, right? Or some shit like that.
Estrogen.
Yeah, estrogen is in
Couldn't
the
tell you, man.
Yeah, estrogen is in the female genetic code. That is what makes female hormones.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. That's what we learned about girls growing up. These are the ingredients that make up the perfect little girls. It is so weird in retrospect, like that a guy my age probably made that cartoon and wrote that line, the perfect little girls. And
Yeah,
you're just like,
fucking-
okay.
Yeah, no.
But if you look at a lot of the things now that the Powerpuff Girls, the woman that was behind them, I think, and the woman that's now doing 12 Forever on Netflix, is a lot of pedophile shit.
Yeah, fucking. I mean,
Smacking this dude.
pedophiles are everywhere.
What?
Can't really.
Stop. Put on the glasses. Put on the glasses. I'm trying to save you. I'm gonna get
I don't
assaulted.
know. I feel like. I don't know. Pedophilia. I mean, I don't care about pedophiles, but maybe that's just me. Like, cause it's not like, there's gonna be evil people out there that you can't stop, no matter how much you wish they were fucking dead. Like, let's say some untouchable, like, there are people out there that aren't untouchable because you can't talk about them. Wait, hey, have you heard of the video, cause I know you fucking mentioned this, and you know the video about fucking Hillary Clinton shit? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that video is allegedly going around, but it's like these things never ever come to light, and they never will. That woman is going to die with her grandchildren around her as they wish grandma off to a better place, and she's just going to silently take her last breath, and everyone and her loved ones and her generations of children and her rich family will all be around her as she goes off into the next.
Yeah, fucking goes off.
They're never gonna die. They're never gonna be. They're certainly not gonna face judgment for the things they did in this life. That's for damn sure. These people can do whatever they want.
Yeah, no, when I heard about this shit, cause I know you mentioned it, but you never said what it was. Someone actually told me what it was, and cause we were just talking, it was some Marine veteran guy I was talking to. So I was like, holy shit, a Marine veteran's telling me. I was like, what the fuck? And no, he was telling me about this fucking. Are you talking about the one where she wears a fucking like child's face? Like apparently she fucking
And you have to say allegedly with all this if you don't want to be canceled.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care. I could just make a new YouTube, have people. Plus, it's not like I have any really viewers, but allegedly.
Yeah, it's not like anybody cares.
Yeah, allegedly, fucking this fucking person, she wore a baby's face and was dancing around or some shit, like dancing. I don't know. You gotta go to like the dark web to find that shit, and you'll probably.
Yeah, it's apparently circulating around on the dark web. I've heard it all.
Yeah, fucking.
None of that shit is even provable if it's real or if it mattered. If it was, it wouldn't.
Yeah, and fucking
Maybe, man, that's the
look
stuff
at
I
it.
was into when I was fucking 13, when I was 15. Like, I was like, man, Bohemian Grove, and did you know they worship a giant ancient owl god, and that this shit is actually our world leaders and some of the most influential people behind our government and everything else, and all the, and like, nobody cares.
There's
Nobody
rich-
fucking cares.
There's like multi-millionaires that like what a lot of y'all don't know too is like there's a lot of multi-millionaires out there. It's just fucking you'll never know that they're fucking millionaires until like you do business with them or some shit like there's
Yeah, they'll never let you know how much they have. That's like, no, they will never, ever let us know.
yeah,
how much they
and,
have.
and they're gonna fucking try and glorify that by never talking about money.
Yeah, they want you to.
You're not
They
supposed
had
to
my
talk about
generation
money.
convinced up until the age of like when I was like in 19, and then the whole world just came crashing. It was like money is the root of all evil. Why would you even want that shit? Any guy that
You
would
need
define
it.
his life by having 6 figures in a bank account is a fool and a moron. And they
Uh,
tricked us so
well, I
thoroughly
don't. I
that it
don't
was
think.
like money is so evil you don't want any of it. Get that shit out of your pocket. Get rid of it. Get rid of it all. You don't want
When
any of it. It's evil.
and the worst part about that is that you can. They
And
make
then
it
you realize
sound.
that like I need it
Yeah,
all.
and then also you need it for generational wealth. Generational wealth
Yeah,
is what
all that. The real wealth. The real stuff that's like they rob you of. They constantly
like everybody is poor because they don't get generational wealth. They don't leave
everybody is
anything.
poor because the generation before them was convinced to sell off everything they worked for and earned. It was like, you want to go spend your retirement in a van, in a RV, driving around the Grand Canyon? Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah,
Just
people.
fuck the grandkids, just sell the house, you know? They don't need a place to stay. They don't need a family home. They're not even having kids. Forget about them. Forget about them.
Yeah, and then fucking.
It's all about you. You do for you. You
And then
deserve it.
and then
You deserve it.
they get their
And then
money.
they
They
sell
don't.
off the house, they sell off the generational wealth, they sell off everything that these motherfuckers would never ever sell off.
Yeah,
They would never convince your generations to divorce. They would never sell empowerment to their women. They would never sell the destruction of the patriarchy to their society, to their men.
because it's there. It's selfish. It's what they want. They're gonna try. It's all playing you, and they'll never. I mean, like you gotta learn this stuff, but it's like I don't know.
Oh, and then you have to learn that it doesn't matter. You do the same thing as you do. It's like what he asked him, like, what do I do?
Because unless you
What'd
have
you do before you became
generational wealth,
enlightened?
you'll never be
I
able
hauled
to
wood.
really get it.
Or no, I hauled water, I chopped wood. It's like, what'd you do after you became enlightened? I hauled water, I chopped wood. Like, it's no different than, like, you still have to live in the world. The reality is still here. Winter is still going to be on your doorstep.
Yeah, it's just gonna be there, and you can't do anything. But
Trying to think of a game that, like, I just want to run around in and fuck around in while I'm talking. But there's so many, like, I'm so immersed in the art form that it's almost like I can't even do that nowadays. Like, if I play a game, I have to be giving it my attention.
yeah,
Like, I can't even turn on Warframe right now because I am just so fucking bored.
hold
All
up.
I
How
do is
long
walk
have I been
around
running
the
this
ship.
shit for? Hold up. I'm gonna check and see how long I've been running this podcast for, and then I'll probably.
Anybody
mm,
watching?
uh. Yeah, we've had a few viewers actually. We've had like I think we clocked in at most was 4 viewers. So yeah, I
That's
was
the
way.
most I've ever. That's biggest podcast audience I've ever had.
No, that's crazy too, cause it's like I never really And you had a fan in there too, cause but they were all people I knew, so it's like it's not really
There's
anyone.
somebody saying stuff like they were agreeing with what we were saying.
No, someone was talking about you, cause I think it was one of my friends. He said like something about your intellect or some shit. He's like, fucking 8 is now an intellectual or some shit. Hold on, I'll read the comments. Yeah, I got you. I'll read the comments. Alright, so
Which you're never
here,
supposed to do.
at this point, 8 is just a mass amount of intellect. And then someone put a dick. And then someone put an
Sure, my dick
R.
fucking your mind.
And then someone put in Arbiter, because Arbiter was in here. And then Nictors, and then Door Rhyme. But I know that person. He just chose. I fuck with him. But, um, yeah, but I think everyone that came in here I knew, except for this person. Who is that? I don't even know. I thought it's probably Nick, but um, I mean, yeah, no, we've had a good amount of comments though. I don't know why it's not showing me the comments right. Oh, it's because I have a filter. Okay. Okay. We've had Pussyfooting, Ben and I, Ben and 8 like come. That was Arbiter. That was the guy in here.
So much
Pussyfooting.
come.
Yeah. Um. I mean, just a bunch of trolls, really. But fuck it. I'm down. Even though it's everyone, Arbiter was the one in the party. He was just fucking trolling and shit in there.
There's Abzu. We're gonna download Abzu again.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about ending it right now, and then maybe another day we can pick it up. I think that
Yeah.
was a good podcast. That was like an hour.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was fun having everyone in the stream. I hope people watch this after and watch the whole thing. What I'm gonna try and do, if I get the chance to, I'm gonna try and clip this up and then put it into clips, just like, and then like have like little segments. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good day, and we're gonna try and do this. I'm gonna try and do this more often. I just need guests and shit, because right now the only person I got is 8. So,
Oh yeah, man, I'll be a permanent fixture on this podcast.
oh yeah, no, I'm for sure. Whenever I do a podcast, I'm gonna let you know, man. But so I'm thinking today's Thursday. Yeah, just put on the post notification bell, so you know whenever I go live and we do one of these, and there might be some interesting stuff, you know. Yeah, all right. Nice talking to y'all, and it was a good podcast. Okay, shit. How the fuck?